Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start our new lesson, that is India's foreign policy. In this, we are going to learn about the non alignment policy. Why India maintained a neutrality between the both the powers, high powers, which were going on during the World War II time. Those were Russia, that is Soviet Russia, and the capitalists, that was the Americans. Now, the Indian foreign policy in the early years was independence was neutral, and which was India wanted to maintain with a safe distance. India wanted to maintain independence from and neutrality between the nations with a safe distance from two power blocs, the Western and the Soviet bloc. The two camps led by the United States and the Soviet Russia, which wanted to extend their influence all over the world. India followed a policy not to be influenced or not to influence any of the superpower blocs. Thus, the non alignment movement was largely a product of India's efforts. Thus, India's effort was to organize a collective answer to the bloc politics of the great powers and also to develop friendly relations among the countries who are trying to free themselves from the colonial dominations. Similarly, in 1950s, where the Cold War era was going on, the NATO had already been set up and military alliances were formed in Asia. In this situation, India proclaimed a policy of Panchashil. What was the Panchashil? The aim was that India and China now proclaimed the five principles of peaceful coexistence. Both India and China was maintaining the non-alignment policy. They followed it during that time, known as the Panchashil. The mutual respect for one another, non-aggression, non-interference in any other's internal affairs, equality and mutual benefit, and peaceful coexistence was certain rules of Panchashil which was followed. Next, there were certain reasons for following the non-alignment policy. Why this non-alignment policy came in the mind of the nations, and plus why it was maintained? What was the main purpose of maintaining the non-alignment policy? The word third world was first used in 1950s to describe the countries which did not belong to the first world. After the end of the Second World War, the decolonization process started. As a result, the powerful Europeans countries started to withdraw their forces from their colonies. Of course, not always willingly. During 1950s and 1960s, the European empires started to break up and a number of independent states emerged in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Similarly, these countries did not want to get involved in the struggle of Cold War. These countries were opposed to both America and Soviet Russia. Thus, they followed a policy of non-alignment. The term non-alignment means that some countries wanted to keep himself away from the politics of the bloc, and those countries were not going to support the action of any of the superpowers. These countries would judge the action from the point of natural justice. That means the countries which were following the non-alignment policy wanted to keep themselves away from any of the politics going on in the world. They did not want to support any of the country, any war, or any type of internal external politics. Actually, these countries formed a group of like minded states. They wanted to be neutral. They did not want to create any of the anxiety among the nations. Thus, the non alignment movement started with the countries of third world, the countries who wanted to be neutral. That is why the name third world was given. So these countries wanted to keep themselves out of alliances and military impacts for their own interest only. Why the need for economic development was required in that time? What was the main purpose? Why was it required? Why the need came? Actually, the poverty of third world countries was another cause of adoption of this policy. Poverty was also the main reason because during the war, maximum of the revenues have been lost. Economically, these countries were extremely poor, though they constitute almost 70% of the world's population. So these countries needed financial and technical assistance from the power blocs. The need for peace the need for peace was another important factor. These countries realized that they would not be able to make any development without peace in the country. They looked at the arms race as the dangerous for the world peace. Race for armaments, creating weapons, developing weapons was harmful for the nations. So they wanted to strengthen the UNO by following the non-alignment policies. So non-alignment policy, what do we understand now? The countries who wanted to be neutral, they were known as the third world countries. What was their main purpose of following the non-alignment policy? Their main purpose for following the non-alignment policy was they did not want to enter into any internal external politics of the other nations. They only wanted to be neutral. They wanted to keep themselves safe. It was for their own interest, and plus during the World War period they have been deprived from economic loss a lot. So to resume it, to gain back, they required a peace. They required a pause from all the politics or any type of weapon productionary or competitive productionary processes among the nations. So in this view, they started to adopt the non-alignment policy. So on this purpose, Badang Conference Summit was held in 1955 among the nations who were supporting this policy. What policy? The policy of non-alignment policy. So President Sukarno of Indonesia organized a conference of 29 Asian and African nations at Badang in 1955. The 5 principles of Panchashil were given a practical shape. In this conference, here, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said that this conference gave a chance to the leaders of Asia and Africa to come closer and understand the problems of the third world countries. It marked the birth of Asia and the new Africa, and the leaders present there agreed to subscribe to the 5 principles. The peaceful coexistence, they showed complete unity and agreement with each other, especially in supporting the aims and objectives of the UNO. Similarly, the Belgrade Conference was held with the same purpose. the non-alignment nation countries like Afghanistan, Algeria, Burma, Cambodia, and others who joined in this nation, their main aim and targets was to attend on the view of Jawaharlal Nehru, President Tito of Yugoslavia and President Nasser of Egypt. These three was considered the founding fathers of Belgrade, which gave the final touch and shape to the non-alignment policy, a strong determination to it. So, this non-alignment policy was clearly pronounced at the first summit at Belgrade, and some of the objectives of this policy was very well specified in this conference to the nations, the joining nations. Abolition of imperialism, imperialistic attitude, competitive attitude among the nation, fight for arms, fight for race should be avoided. Through imperialism, the superpowers always exercise their control and domination over other countries. So, non-alignment movement clearly believed that the principle of self-determination, natural equality, and freedom of all nations were very well required. Maintenance of internal peace was required, which was the very basis of the formation of NAM. Maintenance of internal security. Naturally, NAM felt that the course which adopted by them was the correct way to solve the rivalry of different states. Similarly, in disarmament policy of NAM, always opposed the manufacture, possession, and use of nuclear weapons on the enemy states. The movement is also directed against all forms of racial discrimination. There were new internal economic orders. NAM strongly believed that the present economic system was based on equality. Thus, NAM members pleaded for the new internal and economic order, new internal and economic order, new economic policies on the basis of equality. Enforcement of human rights. One of the major objectives of NAM movement was enforcement of human rights. People should get their equal benefit, their economical benefit, their virtual right which was required at that point of time which they were lagging behind. Hence, the fight for gaining human right was the main purpose of this conference, to make people understand, realize that what is the need, the right time, the requirement of the present situation. Not for the race for armaments, but filling the stomachs of those starving people, millions and millions of starving peoples who were dying for hunger, because of hunger. So, to control the situation, to control the disturbed environment which had been created after the war. So these countries joined hand together to solve the economic problem and other peaceful problems which were hampering coming on the way of peace, was the main target of this conference and the main target of the non-alignment policy. The enforcement of human rights was among the main point discussed in the Belgrade conference and adopted, very well adopted by the joining members. So, in this Belgrade conference, the Cold War and NAM played a very important role. The word non-alignment was coined and used by whom? By Jawaharlal Nehru. He believed that Indian freedom struggle was a part of worldwide struggle. Like India, there were various other nations also who were struggling for freedom till now. Very soon, Nehru's role was seen in the Korean crisis in 1950 when he condemned North Korean aggression. He condemned, he did not support it on South Korea. How North Korea was condemning aggressive measures on South Korea. He strictly condemned it. So, when Anglo-French combination took place, again action against the Egypt on Suez Canal issue in 1956, India squarely condemned this action, prohibited it. Russian intervention in Hungary was also condemned by India. India became a positive force in the world politics now. After Nehru's death, Indian government followed the same policy. Thus, the 7th summit was held in New Delhi in 1983, where resolutions were passed demanding the withdrawal of foreign troops. And now, Afghanistan, the summit was supported, and freedom struggle for the people of Namibia, South Africa, Palestine demanded banning of the test of nuclear weapons. This was the main point. The testing of the nuclear weapons should be prohibited because it damages the land of the other nations also. Hence, this conference resulted in India to uphold with the policies of Nehru's views, the points which oppress the people all over the world, and also put the world into the light of the present requirements and needs, not for the aggressive policies, but for the peaceful measures which could be adapted for the future development of the nations. If the economy of present situation was for the production of weaponaries, then how it will be used for the development of the common people to fulfill their needs and requirements. So this was the need and requirement of the present situation which the people required. Not only India, but like India, there were other nations also who wanted peaceful measures to be taken. They were now not ready for any type of aggressive measures or war, a type of war situation. They were not ready to face it. Hence, the main target was to follow the neutral policy. Neutral policy, non-alignment policy. The policies adopting countries known as the third world countries. These countries who adopted the neutral policy or the non-alignment policy. So till now we are studying the non-alignment policy, the idea which was first implanted by Jawaharlal Nehru from India to be neutral with all the nations. Thank you. In the next class we'll come up with the revisions of certain topics, okay, from the lesson. So thank you, and do the worksheet of the previous changing face of Indian democracy. I have given you the answers of the previous worksheet are also given, and some few questions to solve from the changing face of Indian democracy has been given. Today in study material I will give you the India's foreign policy. Study material will related to the new lesson, that is India's foreign policy, and worksheet is related to changing face of Indian democracy. Previous chapter worksheet I am ending today. So do it. Few questions I have given today, you solve it, and some answers also given. Copy the answers in your copy. Maintain your classwork copy very nicely. Don't skip any answers. What I am giving, copy it, maintain the answers. Okay, thank you.